Me and Mike are here on this job. Got a phone call this morning about 7 o'clock. My cousin called and said they didn't have no water, needed me to come out and fix the setup. And he said that the filter canister exploded. So the filter blew off the bottom of the housing. Now there could be a couple reasons. Typically the filter canister explodes in the wintertime when it freezes, but we're in smack dab in the middle of summer, so why did it bust, right? A lot of times if a pressure switch has a plugged up nipple, the pressure switch can either get stuck on or the pressure switch can get stuck off. Most of the time it gets stuck off and you just run out of pressure. It just goes to zero and doesn't click on. The same thing can happen in the on position. It can be plugged up with sediment, not sense the pressure, and not turn the pump off. And most pumps have the ability to build about 120 to 180 psi. Nothing in a system is designed to handle 180 psi. A lot of times there's a lot of risk involved when it comes to systems that get stuck on, because that little tiny tube on the back of your toilet, which is flexible, a lot of times that little tube is what can swell up like the size of a watermelon, and it will bust and then it'll flood your house, because that is the weakest line in any of the plumbing system, is the line that feeds the toilet. So it looks like the tank's probably bad. I told him that I put this in 13, 14 years ago, since it's already at the expected lifespan of a bladder tank. Whether the tank was good or bad, we're gonna go ahead and replace it. Based on me just knocking on it, it sounds like a thud. So it sounds like it's waterlogged. This is a fiberglass tank. I don't really like these. We put them in a little over a decade ago. Probably right around the time I started doing this full time. Mike, will you hand me a Phillips head screwdriver, please? What we're gonna do, we're gonna depress the little air nipple on top of this, and this is how you can tell if your tank is bad. You simply depress the air nipple, and if water squirts out, then the tank is bad. So let's see, we're gonna let out some air. Right now it feels like the tank is waterlogged, so it may have a little residual stuff. The air coming out on my fingers is really moist. So I'm gonna say the tank is bad, even though it's letting air out right now. Okay, yeah, I'm not getting any pressure increase. So this is the incoming feed. We're gonna cut it here, and we'll kind of reformulate everything here. This was like our budget setup 15 years ago. When we switched over to these tees, we had to have like a special tee for these. They were really short and stubby, so we had to do these setups like this. And then we come up here to the tank. We don't use gate valves anymore or any of that, because they're just a pain in the butt. So this is all PEX, so we'll cut it back here. It may actually even come up here, I don't know. I think that'll be all right to leave there. But I'm just gonna replumb all this and redo a brand new filter, brand new tank, brand new pressure switch, and do it to my modern standards. So let's go inside and turn the power off. Okay, exactly where he said it was, in the laundry room behind the door. Let's check. Well pump is off, and water heater's off. Good. Just wanted to double check. Just wanted to double check. Okay, so I gotta drain the tank, and there's no other way to drain it, so I'm just kind of shoving it against that. We're letting all the water out here. Already got enough under here from it flooding in the middle of the night. But it should drop down to zero pretty soon. Okay, so I've got the wires loose from the pressure switch. We're gonna go ahead and go back here. So we're gonna have to cut this and then extend it, because my new system is gonna be on a brass tank tee. So we really don't need any of this anymore. We don't need any of this. We're gonna cut all this loose. all the way up to, let's say we'll put a valve here, so we'll cut through their insulation a little. Okay, try not to get wet. All right, so this is all gonna come out, and this is all gonna come out. I despise fiberglass tanks now. All right, go over here. There's no longevity in these tanks. Honestly, the tank still acts like it's good, so may have been good. But I've been here twice in probably, I think, the last 6 years, and each time I've came here was to replace a pressure switch and air up the tank. So I think maybe every 3 years she bleeds down, and I think it's been about 3 years since I was here last time and put this switch on. But it's just time. It's just time. They're family, and I'm already coming here, so I might as well just do it right, you know. Okay. So we got our new tank here. Had to put it at the same angle. And I went ahead, I used my little pipe vise wrench, the little Amigo here, and I turned the gauge to where you can actually see it from the doorway. And right now, we're gonna go ahead and tighten in this PEX fitting. This PEX fitting is gonna go basically straight up and then gonna curve over to the new filter that we're gonna put in. We're also using the bigger version of the pipe vise here. It's kind of like a medium, like 10-inch. Good for 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch. It may go to 1 inch, but it really loves 3/4 inch stuff. But these things, they bite like excellent. If you're a plumber, get you a set of these bad boys. All right. Next thing, hook up the wires. Now we got our pressure switch all on, pipe hooked up, so all that's good. This fitting's tightened, so we're gonna come out here, we're gonna 90 it, and we're gonna elbow straight up. We're gonna elbow, I don't know if I'm gonna curve some pipe or elbow it, but I've got to mount that filter right here. It's literally the only spot in this area that I can mount to. These right here, we call them trailer house clamps. I don't really know the designated name for these. If you know the designated name for these, drop it in the comment section. But basically, this right here clips onto the metal beam, and then this piece here clips around your pipe. And I just take a pair of little pliers, this little tit here, I go ahead and squeeze that in to where it doesn't bite into the pipe itself, but it actually holds onto the system very well. The other one was done the same way. We're just gonna go ahead and replace everything, you know. Gonna go this far, might as well not cheap out on the little clamps. And just like that, the magic is over. So we basically came down here, elbowed up, elbowed over, elbowed in. I put a valve right here. I put 3 clamps instead of 2. That way it gives it a lot better support, a lot more rigid. It doesn't move. You'll be able to take the canister on and off right now. So just take this, bump, spin it off, and then what people don't know about these filters is you only tighten them by hand. Don't tighten them with the wrench. They're so hard to get off that way. So right now, just one hand, boom, that's it, done. You don't need any more than that. It's an O-ring seal. You don't need to cinch down the O-ring to where you make it flat on both sides, and then progressively you're squishing it more and more and more and more, and then it's harder and harder and harder to seal, so you got to tighten it more and more and more and more. Wrong way to go about it. If you start having that issue, buy you some O-rings. A lot of these filters come with backup O-rings. What I do with the O-rings, punch a hole in the little bag, I leave it sitting right there on that valve. That way the homeowner knows exactly where their backup is. And that way, if a plumber comes here, you know, if it was a new job, I have plumbers all the time playing tricks on me. Like, I'll terminate my end of my system right here at this valve, and I always leave it off. The plumber will literally take this wrench and put it on the pipe and then clamp it, and you can't get the wrench off of it. I don't know why they do that or why they like play that trick, like they think it's funny or something, but it's aggravating to go back to a job site because the customer calls us because we put the filter in and said, oh, your wrench is stuck on the pipe. I think I've had that happen about 5 times. And I don't know if plumbers just do that on purpose or what. But okay, the system is good. Let's back up from it and show you what it looks like. This is what I'm working in, this little area. But yeah, so very similar to the way it was, just a lot more better setup as far as the tank T and a lot better quality of tank. All right, I gotta take my shoes off, go in the house, and I'm gonna turn the breaker back on. Their house is so freaking clean. Everything about it is super clean, except me. I'm filthy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these shoes off. Okay, in we go. Back in here. Well, pump on. Okay, the valve should be on. Let's see if we got a sink in here. That way we can get rid of any of the air. I don't want to send any of the air to the water heater. Okay. All right, now we're good. Just run the cold side. Now we're gonna go down here and turn the water heater back on. Close it up. Good to go. All right. Ooh, man. That water felt warm, which is odd. If the water felt warm, you know what that means? That means it did exactly what I thought. The pressure switch was stuck on, and it was stuck on for so long that the pump got so hot, it heated up the water in the well. Because that was literally cold water. We ran it for a long enough period of time, I just stuck my hand under it. And I'm gonna say it's like 80 degrees, 75-ish. There's no telling how long it had been running at full steam in that well. But now we got a new pressure switch. There's not gonna be any plugged up nipples, no leaks, no nothing like that, so the system is good to go. Time to roll. In here and out of here, 35 minutes. Okay. Now we gotta go back down underneath and check to make sure we don't have any leaks, and we'll be good. How's it looking, Michael? No drips? All right, and back down under we go. Okay, let me check my PVC fitting. That's good. Check my PEX fitting. All right, that's good. Nothing leaking from there. No drips off the bottom of my canister. None of my threaded fitting. Okay, everything looks good. Hot dog, we're good to go. The well water coming out of the well was warm. The well pump had been running and running and running. That's what blew that canister off. Okay. He's lucky he didn't burn the pump up, to be completely honest. Yeah. Very rare to find warm well water. Yeah. But when you do, you know that pump's been down there just grinding it out. Done. D-U-N, done. Well, that marks another one done. See y'all later.